Alright, this is too quick for you again. I'm going to explain to you what Dashlaunch is and what your launch INI is. Dashlaunch basically applies patches at boot. It applies patches to the kernel at boot, by the way. And it doesn't know what patches to apply, so it has to look to the launch INI and read what we've set it to do, and then we'll apply those patches at the boot. So basically the launch INI is the instructions for Dashlaunch, what to patch and what not to patch. I already made one of these videos and it was way too damn long, so I'm going to be real quick about this and get this done quick. Alright, let's go over one of these launch INIs. Okay, this little thing right here, it's called a semicolon. Anything that's starting with a semicolon, Dashlaunch ignores, it doesn't see it. Anything that doesn't start with a semicolon, Dashlaunch does see. So, let's come down here and we'll see where it says default. Default equals HDD. Up here is the instructions for it. Anything starting with a colon is basically instructions for us as humans to read so we can set our settings. So, down here where it says default is what loads when you hold no buttons. Leave this blank if you want the NEX as default. Now NEX dash is what most of the noobs refer to as the normal dash or the regular dash. Well, it's called the NEX dash. Okay, so I've got mine set to default HDD apps FSD3 default XEX because my freestyle dash is located in the apps folder at the root of HDD. Now yours might not be there, but if you bought your console from me and you bought an HDD, it's set up like this. Now you can put it anywhere you want. I mean, you could have it be in, you can put freestyle dash in the monkey balls folder inside the ding dong folder located on USB. So you then have to change this to USB ding dongs, monkey balls, then freestyle dash default XEX. But those are your paths. So you can put things anywhere you want, just as long as you put the proper directory in here to where it looks for. Example where it says paths. Paths are what you can do quick launch buttons. So if I wanted to launch freestyle dash from the USB folder, inside the monkey balls folder, inside the freestyle dash folder, I would have to put in here, if I want the A button to do it, I'd put, and up here's our directions, I'd put USB : / monkey balls / FSD / default XEX. And then when you held the B button when the console was booting, it would boot in the freestyle dash. These buttons here can be used to, you can actually tell it to launch a game. You can direct this to launch a game, like let's say Modern Warfare 2, you want to launch the default MP, you just put a path here to it, and it would launch it when you held the button down at boot. Now, again, anything that has a colon on it, we don't need. You can delete all that stuff. It says right here in COZ's comments, you can remove anything you don't need. So, basically, delete the shit. If you don't want all this crap in here, if you don't understand it because it's too complicated for you, you think it's all too much for you to read and too much to understand, delete everything that starts with a colon. Now, down here, let's go to an example, plugins. These are the plugins folders. You can put plugins here and they got to be located. Now, see, mine's located at HDD1 / plugins.xbdm. Now, xbdm is usually used for your neighborhood. Mine's located in the plugins folder. Again, you got to put the path to where you've got it. You can actually install your xbdm, you know, inside the Sony's junk folder. It doesn't matter as long as you put a directory to it inside here. Now the next thing is, like here, this ping patch one. If true, ping limit will be removed for system link play. Now it says if not present, default is false. So it's saying that I could actually just delete this whole thing because I already got my defaults and delete it, and it's still going to work because the default for this patch is false. See, everything here is a patch. That's a patch. That's a patch. These are all patches. So any patches that you went through and set, and there's a default settings, then you can delete them because it always says if not present. So if not present, default is false. And I've got this one set to false, so I don't even need it in there. So basically you can go through and chop up your INI to make it a little more understandable for you. So basically this INI here on the right is saying the same thing as the launch INI on the left. I can put either launch INI in here, well, except for the pink patch. I gotta change that. But basically, both these launch INIs will work and do the same thing. Okay, you can actually take all the stuff out and end up with just this. And this is here is a little more understandable for people. So like I said, the pink patch was set for false. For this default setting is false. If you change it, you got to have it in there. Well, I wanted it to be true. So only things that you change what the default is has to be in here. The things that are left as default, you don't have to have in there. It's like this. See, if not present, default's false. I've got mine set as false, so I don't even have to have it in the launch INI. Alright, so long as you understand part of that, we're going to close this out and go back to here. Now, this particular launch INI, I can look at it and tell you right now, its default dashboard is set to Freestyle Dash. This power button is meaning that when I turn the console on with the power button, it's telling it to boot to the NEX dash. I don't know why it's called SFC, but that's what it's called. I have fake aim on this, which is, you know, for different boot animations. And I have a plug-in. And I have my pink patch to true, my comp patch to true, and my sign-in nodes to true. And then basically this thing will work perfectly without all this stuff in there. So let's move on. There's another way you can do this. And while this console boots, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more here about this other launch INI. Okay, here we go. So remember, these are the instructions for us as humans to read, because everything starts with a colon, Dashlaunch can't see. Let's say I wanted Freestyle Dash to be booting from the USB. But right here, a USB memory stick starts out with USB : /. So we could change, if I put Freestyle Dash on the USB, I would change this. Actually, I'm sorry, this is an example. I would come down here and change this to USB. Because everything above here is junk, because Dashlaunch is not seeing it. And all these things here are junk too, because Dashlaunch doesn't see those, they start with a colon. Once you get everything going and how you like it, and you pick through one by one to read what this means, you know, read each patch and adjust it to what you want it to do. Alright, let's go on to the console now. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the Dashlaunch versions. Now the Dashlaunch versions, let's say tomorrow Microsoft updates to like 1707. Well, we'd have to wait about 3 weeks for the freeboot team to come out with a freeboot patch for 1707. I'm sorry, it'd be 17077. It's fine. Well then, in order for it to work, the Dashlaunch, we need a new Dashlaunch, because the Dashlaunch, when it's made, only works for a particular freeboot version. So if a new freeboot version come out, we'd have to put a new Dashlaunch in once he released out a new Dashlaunch version. And I'm going to show you how to do that. To install your Dashlaunch, it's pretty simple. You would FTP into your console. And I'm just doing it a different way right here. It's no big deal. Just want to show you. Well, if you bought a console from me and you bought a hard drive, your Dashlaunch folder is going to be located in the root of HDD, in the apps folder, and there's your Dashlaunch. There's the default XEX. You would go in and delete that in your console. You would download the new Dashlaunch, and we would have it like this. Now, all this stuff here in the Dashlaunch is junk. I mean, it's not junk, just these videos are for noobs, not for advanced people. These things here do other purposes, but as far as what we're concerned with right now, all we're looking for is this thing in the installer folder. There's a default XEX. You would copy that, FTP into your console, put it in here, and launch it. Now when you launched it, I guess I can do it right now. When you launch it, a screen will pop up and say, do you want an update? Now, I'm already on the current version, it's not going to say it. But now that I'm here, I'm going to explain a couple other things to you about adjusting your launch INI. Alright, sorry about that. My video time ran out. Alright, we're back here. You gotta be careful when you come into Dashlaunch because you could accidentally delete your launch INI. And basically, these are the settings, paths, behavior. So what first we want to do is load our launch INI into here. So we hit the bumper, go down and find out where your launch INI is, which is usually lit up by the green thing. Hit the back button, and there's instructions. And I'm going to hit A to load from launch INI. And at the bottom of the screen, it says settings loaded from HDD launch INI. So now I'm going to hit the bumper again. And now we can actually go in here and look at the current configuration. And as you can see here, look here, we talked about this before, default HDD1 apps FSD default. So you can actually change things in here instead of doing it on the computer with the launch INI there. So we're going like in behaviors. Now if you click on them, look at the bottom. It's kind of, see, if enabled, pressing Y mini blades while official dash will cause launch event. It tells you everything in here what these are. So you can go through and change what you want of your launch INI in here. And if you back out, they're not going to be set. So what you got to do is you got to change what you want. Go ahead and hit the bumper, hit back, and get the instruction again. And it says X to save to launch INI. So I'm going to hit X, and down at the bottom it says settings saved to HD1 launch INI. So basically, you could alter the launch INI in Dashlaunch and then resave it, and it's going to put it to where you tell it to put it at. So basically, that's it about the Dashlaunch, your launch INI, what it does, and play around with it, have some fun with it. You can make it boot different things where you want it to go and different stuff. And that's about it. Thanks, guys.